Welcome back to another episode of Bennett Does Quests. Not just any quests, no. We are helping out Aratani. So, let's see what she has to offer. Now, how am I supposed to contact these two authors in the situation? Contact who now? Oh, traveler, it's you. Thank goodness you're here. I was just in need of someone's help. Here's the problem. Yay Publishing House's annual novel writing competition is about to begin, and as is our rule, we plan to invite a few of our writers to serve on the judging panel. However, we have two writers who are neither Inazuma nor do they currently reside in Inazuma. As you know, the president's circumstances prevent us from inviting outlanders here, but if we fail to inform the writers of such an important matter, that would also be inappropriate. So, I thought that if someone could at least send them a gift, the basic courtesies would at least be satisfied. And we could also attach a letter discussion, future manuscripts. Would you be willing to help me out? Sure, let's take care of it. We are counting on you, traveler. Sure. Chang the Ninth's story, known as The First Apprentice of Guhua, is a tale about the first apprentice of a famed martial arts school in Liu and a young girl from Inazuma whom he took on as a junior apprentice. What was it called? Karate Kid, I believe. So, if you were to ask me, the themes and plot are just a little outdated by this point, but enough readers buy it to keep sales up. We often ask people to send some letters to him to suggest certain changes he might make in the future works to perhaps make a breakthrough. But we have never received a reply. Perhaps the letters were lost on the way. And who sent you? Wait, what? I don't even know this name, Xingqiu. When did we get that one? Now this one, I have no idea about. It's likely a pen name of some sort. But the writing, a legend of sword, that once an earth shaker and a world beater, and no mistake, both the setting and the story have sent veritable stocks throughout the literal world. Well, where do I find this writer then? I believe that this writer also lives in Liu. What a coincidence. According to a traveling merchant who brought this book back to Inazuma, he first found this text at One Wen Book House. I think that if you ask the stuff at One Wen Book House, you should all be able to find this author. However, well, never mind that for now. Here are the presents and the letter. I'm putting this into the reliable hands, traveler. Okay, now then, Chang the Ninth's gift. Talk to Aratani. Wait a minute. J Publishing House's invitation. Okay, so there might be a two-step thingy. Okay, so we have to get to Chang the Ninth, which is somewhere over here, right over there. It's kind of interesting that I exactly know the location of certain NPCs. Well, Chang the Ninth is one of those people that you come across not just once, but twice, thrice even, on certain side missions and so on, so you kind of remember its location. Just saying. Whee! It's kind of funny that he also is some more or less important character that gets addressed multiple times in the story as well. So, let's have a little talk to him. Traveler, what brings you to my home today? Here's a letter and a gift from Yay Publishing House from Inazuma. A letter from Yay Publishing House. They are not asking me to change my pen name again, are they? I've told them 1,000 times that I'll write under my real name. Forget it. Let me have a look. And he reads the letter. They want me to judge a novel writing contest. I don't think I have the time, but I suppose I should thank them anyway. What's all this? These are creative suggestions. I'll have to read these a bit more carefully. Thank you, traveler. Just like that. Alright. The next one is Xingqiu at the One Wen Book House, which is in Liu. just around the corner. Thank goodness we unlocked most of the traveling points here. Traveling points. Quick travel. Teleporters. Whatever. Waypoints. That's the real name. I was like, wait a minute. I know that name. Ho? What's he doing here? That's a special person. Is she writing those books? So, this part is indeed well written, and the progression is so very novel. Xingqiu! Oh, so that's what happens. Fascinating. Xingqiu! It's you. It has been a while. From the way you greeted me, you seem, well, you seem well. That is good. What brings you here today? Actually, we were hoping to ask you to find someone for us. We've read a ton of books, so you probably know. A person? Are you looking for a writer then? Certainly, ask away. We are looking for a certain Shen or Sen Yu. Sen Yu? Where did you hear this name? It says so right here on this copy of A Legend of Sword. We're looking for this Senyu person because someone from Ye Publishing House in Inazuma to pass them a letter. Would you know who the Senyu person is? Well, the Senyu of whom you speak, this is embarrassing, but that's my pen name. I knew it. So, hey, what? Well, that's one we've never heard of. Of course, we don't read that many books, do we? Well, it's certainly nothing worth mentioning. Initially, the editor in charge of this book, Hien Liu, told me that the setting is too outlandish, while the plot is unexpected cliché. No one will like this and rejected my manuscript. I didn't feel like taking that lying down, so I had a few copies printed myself before planting them surreptitiously into one main bookhouse to see if anyone would like them. As it turned out, readers were few and far between, so I did not pay it any more mind. I never thought that it would become so popular in Inazuma. Still, I'm quite pleased that people are willing to read what I've written. I shall read this letter carefully, traveler. Thank you. Guess who? It's Xingqiu. Now, let's... Wait a minute. Let's have a little talk to him. Why not? So, still, I wonder, how did the book that I wrote manage to make it over the ocean to Inazuma? Did some passing Inazuman merchant buy the book before bringing it home with them? Well, that is actually a very good question, because stuff does not move on its own, and it's usually people that are involved with it. But similar to plants and wildlife that just crosses the ocean on boats, so will information and stories transcend the nations. Now then, Aratani. Oh, you're back at last. How did it go? Did you find our two authors? Yes, indeed. I did. The letters have been delivered. That's wonderful. What did they say, traveler? They both said that they'd read the letters with care. But nothing else, really. Good. It's just a shame that they're both far away in Liu. Even were things more normal, we couldn't easily go to visit them. Well, they need to get here, don't they? Especially for Mr. Shen Yu. His book, A Legend of Sword, wasn't even submitted by him, but by a traveling merchant. Later, one of our editors would read this book, and seeing its value, they prepared to go to Liu personally and arrange for more manuscripts to be written. Who would have thought that with these changes in our situation, none of our letters that we sought to have people bring to Liu ever returned? We could only publish the books first while keeping a record of the royalties owed to Mr. Shen Yu. Oh, that is nice. Usually people don't really do that. They just take in the profit and that's it. But they are just keeping... we don't even know how much royalties there are, because it can be any percentage here. But at least they saved the little cut here. That's actually quite nice. Quite nice. Once we'd established contact, we would send the royalties over. But it's been so long, and still, The Legend of Sword remains a bestseller. The royalties are starting to pile up. How I wish Mr. Xingqiu could attend this competition. These royalties can't be left to pile up like this much longer. I mean, I can take care of it. The problem is I can't really manage the funds in this game. Like, there's no way to kind of like allocate Mora from one person to another, except when it comes to like specific quests and so on. So, let's zoom in a little bit and get rid of this little quest marker. Perfect. First quest done. Which is nothing more than that kind of stuff. So groceries. Are we? Well, are all your wishes granted? Sure. Let's see. Do I need some special stuff? Most of it is around the 100 Mora mark. It's kind of interesting that you can buy all of this stuff from different vendors from the different areas. So they are not linked like the blacksmiths are. Because you can buy items from the blacksmith. But if you buy a set of items from one blacksmith, then let's say in Mondstadt, then the one in Liu or let's say in Inazuma will also refresh their stock. So you cannot buy the items from them as well. There's just one exception, and it is the general goods vendor here. So they always have salt, they always have wheat, and they always have tofu for some reason. I'm just going to buy all of the tofu because I have no idea where to get this otherwise. Same goes for the shrimp. There's just one problem. It is extremely expensive, but I still do have a little bit of funding there. So, yeah. And the reason usually is I want to have more than 500-ish in my inventory. And most of the time I'm just processing wheat to turn it into flour and so on. So that's just it. I don't want to buy the flour as a finished product from the vendors because it's a little bit expensive and you don't even get that much. That's just the problem. So let's always kind of stay somewhere around the 1000-ish units mark. Anyhow, let's talk to... Wait a minute. This Catherine receptionist side quest might be a very specific one. So what I have to do is maybe go a little bit further forward in Inazuma. Maybe I even have to change locations altogether. With this, I mean I have to go to the city and whatnot. Alright, will I find a person with like exclamation marks, side missions, whatnot? I marked it on the map, but I don't know. That one looks... Mikawa Akane! Yeah, let's just have a talk to all of the people in the fortress here. Hello, this is the Royal Hot Springs at the headquarters of the TheNefari Commission. Ooh, Hot Springs. You don't look like someone from the Commission. Did you get lost? Well, who are you? I'm Mikawa Akane, manager of the Royal Hot Springs. I'm in charge of serving and arranging accommodations for the lords from the shogunate who are here for the hot springs. Travelers, you must have just arrived in Inazuma. I can tell you stories about the Inazuma hot springs if you like. Oh, just do. Unlike in Natland, there are actually no natural hot springs created by volcanic activities in Inazuma, so how did you make the water hot then? If it's a hot spring. Huh. A long time ago, after hot spring culture had been introduced to Inazuma, the locals became fascinated by the warmth and relaxation brought about by the hot water, so they tried every possible way to create a hot spring in Inazuma. In the end, Lord Hiiragi Hiroshi from the Kanju Commission introduced a high-efficiency boiler from Sesnaya, which could bring up the temperature to the level of a hot spring. The water was also mixed with precious minerals and plants collected from various nations. Thus, the first Inazuma hot spring was created. Although there are also hot springs for the commoners in Inazuma, I don't think they can afford these minerals due to financial restraints. As such, they don't really have the same benefits as the Royal Hot Spring. But if it's a hot spring funded by the Kanju Commission, the outcome could be different. So, may I try the hot springs? I'm sorry, I can't let you do that. Why not? The Royal Hot Springs are only for those from the shogunate. access priorities based on a strict hierarchical basis. With private rooms and very few customers, it is also often the place for our lord's private discussions. No outlanders allowed. Now, that's not quite nice. But okay. At least now we know more. What about those two people, though? Hello, do you need something? I have no idea what. Matsukawa Souzen. You seem upset. How so? As an officer with a duty towards Inazuma, I should naturally be upset about the current state of the nation. When I think about the endless fighting between the shogunate and the rebels, I can't even sleep or eat. If it keeps going on like this, Inazuma's finances will continue to worsen with each passing day. It's only a matter of time before it starts to affect the lives of the people. I hope that Her Excellence can act soon and fix the situation from the root of the problem herself. Makes kind of sense. But they have to defeat the rebels somehow. Still. Oh, hello. If you don't have anything urgent, I must really continue deliberating this matter with Sir Matsukawa. And you are who? I am of the Tatsukasa family of the Kujou clan. I work for the shogunate. The Country Commission has recently submitted some new financial reports. I'm currently reviewing and organizing them to report to my superior. But my superior seems to be a bit worried about this report. Sir Matsukawa has been in office for many years, earning him immense prestige and respect. If he is worried about this report, then I must be more prudent in my review. And what's the problem with the report anyway? In my humble opinion, there's nothing wrong with the report. The Country Commission has been very careful in submitting their report, and I have already reviewed it according to our usual standards. But perhaps with the current unrest, Matsukawa is less than optimistic about the financial situation in Inazuma. I can understand his concern, but as an ordinary civil official, what can I do to help? If I had more power, perhaps I could resolve these issues and actually do something for the Takatsukasa and Kujou clans. So it's just about his report and nothing else. I don't really see a reason to change things at all. I mean, sure, they have problems with their report, but doesn't anyone have some kind of problem? So, Shima Masaoki. Hey, who are you? You don't work here, do you? This is Tenshukaku, the office of Inazuma's most important officials. Everyone here has a big job to do. All four of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you disturb anyone here, I will happily escort you away from the premises. What big job are you doing anyway? Reprimanding new recruits and fixing morale. Young people these days are lazy. If no one is strict with them, the entire group becomes one big mess. It's the standard reaction usually. Like, oh, young people, this. That's just how it is. And the reason for this is actually quite interesting. It has something to do with the hormone levels in people. There's like... was it cortisol, I believe? Cortisol, dopamine, and another one. Serotonin, I believe. And the levels change when you grow up and your age increases. So the older you get, the more change happens to the hormone levels. And as a result of that, your behavior changes. So for men at least, after let's say 25, 26-ish years, you don't act as reckless as you would have before. This is really interesting. This is also a reason why insurance companies have this certain age as a minimum or maximum or whatever. Like this is just some kind of point where they change the cost that you have to pay for the insurance, like on a monthly basis or so. It's just something to keep in mind, because you tend to act more reckless when you're younger because of the hormone levels, and it's nothing that there's actually nothing you can really do against it, because it's just how humans work. And in a way, this gets reflected in the insurance companies, which is really interesting. Just something to keep in mind. And also, the change happens again when you're like in your 40s, 50s, like later years. So yeah, like the whole change happens again a little bit later. And the similar situation also happens for women, but it's not like this kind of cutoff as it is for men. Like it's more repeating, as you may say, which is quite interesting. That's something to keep in mind. Anyhow, I need to let them know that serving as a guard of Tenchukaku is a precious honor not to be taken lightly. What most people would give for an opportunity like this. They must discipline themselves and work hard to rise through the ranks, just like me. Just like you, what? Correct. I wasn't born into this position as a military officer. Of course you weren't. I came from nothing, relying on nothing but my own diligence and dedication to earn recognition from the old Hatamoto Lord, gradually rising through the ranks from infantry to one of the Hatamoto forces. The clan name I have the pleasure to humbly serve is a symbol of my pride. My existence is evidence that if you work tirelessly, you will be successful. Well, this is survivor's bias speaking through him. If these new soldiers work as hard as I have, they too will eventually earn a place among the Hatamoto forces. And this is where he's wrong, because he has a place in those forces at the moment, and no one else can take the place from him, except if he, well, leaves his post or rises up in rank again. And there's only one other person that can do that. Even if all three of them work tirelessly, none of them will actually be able to get his position at the same time. This is just something, again, to keep in mind. This is some survivor's bias that also happens. It's usually one of these things that are used in order to sell stuff. Like, let's say someone is famous and they tell you something about their backstory and so on. Then you also try to repeat what they did. And of course, well, not of course, it's not evident enough, really. But it's very unlikely that just you repeating whatever this famous person did, or whatever person you actually try to copy, will have like a similar outcome for yourself. So just copying other people does not mean, like, just copying other people that are successful doesn't mean that you will get successful yourself. Because being successful means that, yeah, for some reason you were at the right point in time at the right time, right? And you also had the right skill set for the job. Just being there doesn't mean anything if you couldn't fill a certain gap. It's like a seed of a plant that hits fertile soil. Similar like that. Yeah, just like that. So every person is like that. And in order to be fruitful, you need to grow. Therefore, and in order to grow very well, you need very good soil. And good soil is not always found. So in order to find your best location, what you have to do is just move enough until you can say about yourself that you have found it. Like there's some certain resonance, some certain feedback that tells you that this is it, right? And no one else can actually tell you that except yourself, because you are the only one who is able to feel the world, right? Something to keep in mind. Anyhow, we can't get in here. What about Takeshi? I've talked to him before, but let's just talk to him again, just in case. There's places of limits. No unauthorized access for Outlanders. And he's, of course, Takeshi. I am the member of the Okusumeshu. I only take orders from the Almighty Shogun. And who's these? Generally speaking, we are the Almighty Shogun's bodyguards, sure. Yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. I've got the information before, and anyway, there's just an issue. There's nothing else that you can really do in the stronghold over here. Except maybe look behind this rock formation and get maybe 1 or 2 of those fishes. Ah, what did I say? Look around the rock formation, you will get stuff. Well, I just... Wow! 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 What happens if we just push it further and further and further away into the... water? Like the Red Bull did with the unicorns. Come on. Okay, I'm just hitting the attack button right now. I want to see what happens. Okay, this is the limit. There we go. There's nothing else happening. We just get a reaction, but no scratches, no nothing. It would be interesting if at least this underwall. What do you mean underwall? Oh, wait. I don't think it's the chest that they were talking about. I think there's a cave under the wall. This is why I went for under. And there's also another quest. Yeah. Let's do the side mission. That is... You! The warrant is for your arrest. Freeze, motherfucker! Okay. So do not get too close to some of those soldiers. Kujou Kamaji, who are you? Oh, you are... Ah, you are the traveler from abroad. What can I do for you? About Hiiragi Chisato's letter. Oh, this letter. Did Miss Hiiragi really ask you to deliver this letter to me? Oh, finally we can finish that. This handwriting, it really is her. Thank goodness. Thank you for making this trip, traveler. As for the travel permit, as it's Mrs. Hiiragi's personal request, I will naturally see it through. However, I'll need some time to prepare. How about this? Can you wait for me at the Kiminami Restaurant? Why do you want to go there anyway? Well, I want a small favor from you. Recently, I was also thinking of sending something to Miss Hiiragi. I wrote a letter and also requested Miss Kiminami to make some treats for me. I was planning to send them together to Miss Hiiragi as a present. But if father finds out about my plans, he might be upset. Just as I was pondering what to do, you showed up. It's only a present. Okay, father doesn't want me to communicate with Miss Hiiragi. Why not? I understand this concern. After all, I'm a member of the Kujou clan and one of the enforcers of the Tenryu Commission. Miss Hiiragi is the young lady of the Kanju Commission's Hiiragi clan. If I were to get too close to her, it would be inevitable that someone might try to take advantage of her situation. Even though it is only a present, but in some people's eyes, it's a lot more than that. Let's not talk about these trivial matters. Traveler, please wait at the Kiminami Restaurant for me. After I approve the travel permit, I'll bring it to you. Okay, so again, it is about Chisato's letter, and she's all the way over there. Let's just hope that this side mission just finishes quickly, because I don't want to cut the episode right now. Like, it's 20 whatnot minutes, and I should be able to finish at least the second one of those. Let's hope there's not too much stuff that I have to think about. Welcome to Kiminami Restaurant. Okay. About Kamaji's treats. Oh, I've already prepared the treats that Master Kamaji ordered. I'll bring them to you now. But I'm curious about who Master Kamaji will give these treats to. It's nothing more than a public relations gesture, Miss Kiminami. Oh, and now he is here as well. A while back, Mr. Hiiragi Xingqiu presented my father with a batch of fine tea. My father knows that Mr. Hiiragi's beloved daughter Chisato likes treats, so he told me to prepare some as a gift in return. I was worried that the delivery might take too long and there might also be unavoidable bumps during the journey, so I specifically asked for this traveler to deliver them. Miss Kiminami, can I have a look at the treats, please? I want to make sure I haven't missed anything. Sure. Here are the treats. Please take a look. Everything's there. Thank you, Miss Kiminami. Let us move out of the way, traveler. I have a few more things to say to you. This is the travel permit. Please take it. Just like that. Nice. With this travel permit, you can freely enter and leave Rito. Finally. It's fine. This permit will make your delivery a lot smoother. Also, here's the letter. Did you write this letter yourself? Yes, I tried to write this letter in a tactful manner. I hope Miss Hiiragi won't be offended by it. Please deliver this letter and the treats to Miss Hiiragi. Do we have to go back again? Of course. But this time you have the travel permit. You should have a lot more freedom than before. I'll leave it to you, traveler. I also need to go back and deal with official matters. When will I be able to go there myself? Alrighty, now where do I have to go this time? Something Rito, all the way over there. So let's use this teleport location right up here. This might be one of the quicker-ish kind of side missions. Oh, and there's also another side mission right in Rito. How convenient. Another thing that I have to do is probably talk to all of the people in Rito too. Like, some of these guards, I believe, I did not really interact with before. So, Sasaki, there we go. Hiiragi. Traveler, you have returned. Yes, indeed, I have. I guess you've delivered my letter to Kamaji. Did you manage to get the travel permit as well? Yes, I have. Thank you. You don't have to thank me. You should be thanking Kamaji instead. What's this? Treats. And a handwritten letter from Kamaji. Was it his request? These tri-colored dango, you prepared them for me? Thank you, traveler. I'll make sure to savor these treats. As for this letter, I'll read it with great care. Thank you for the hard work. Please, accept these items as thanks for your help. Who knows, I might need your help again in the future as well. Which probably means that you can start another side mission from her, but at least now we finished Chisato's letter. Oh, it's a traveler. Hello. Do you need anything from me today? I don't know. How have things been lately? Thanks to you, I'm doing very well. Thank you for delivering the letter for me earlier. You know, it's very difficult for Kamaji and I to write to each other due to our respective positions. I believe that he must have been very busy with the Kujou clan's affairs. I don't want to bother him too often. He said that he wanted to visit me personally. I don't think it would be possible based on the bad blood between our clans. Still, I'm very glad to know that he'd do that for me. If it wasn't for you, we'd probably have been unable to reach out to each other for a long while. I'm most grateful to you. Oh, there we got some reward. It's nothing, of course. Nothing to mention, but please give me stuff. You don't have to be polite. Who knows? Maybe I'll need your help in the future. I've prepared a small gift for you. It's a trinket you can wear around if you don't mind. Please accept it. Now then, what do we get? Heroes, wits, and some mora. It's not a trinket. Storm cage. Okay, now this is interesting. This might be some kind of gadgety thingy-majig. Or not. I don't see any storm cage stuff in here. Like, it says something about it being some kind of storm cage, but I don't see any storm cage in here. I don't even know where to find that stuff. Where do I find an item that's considered to be a storm cage? Like, it's not one of those unique ones or precious items. It's also not... It could be one of the quest items, so... I don't see stuff in here. And when it comes to gadgets, I also don't seem to find anything new in there as well. So what about the minerals then? Or materials, not minerals. Same thing there. It's also nothing to eat. Oh, what is this? The Ghostly Marge. Sounds fun. I still have absolutely no idea what kind of item we got. Like, we got an item, but I have no idea where to see that stuff. It's not even part of a set. It's also not a weapon or anything. So, how am I supposed to know more about it? The storm cage. I have no idea how to interact with this. I have no idea where to get the storm cage. It's just that it's there. You're happy now? This is not it. Let's just quickly have a look into the achievements. Maybe claim 1 or 2 thingies and only 1. Good. So maybe it's inside the archives. It could be maybe inside equipment. What's this? This is sets related. No, this is just artifacts, and we have weapons, but there's nothing. There are tutorials. There are books. No. Travelogue, geography, tutorials. No. The only thing that may house it could be like this stuff. And I don't see it. Electrocute resonance stone. So this has to be unlocked, but it can take a while. Red feather fan. What's this? Huh. It's an event related stuff, I believe. Serenity pod that comes up at a later point in time. The Adepti Seeker stove is something that you can craft on your own. I just don't care about that really. It's like a portable cooking gadget. The problem about it is that you use it up. It's not something that you can place and take up again. So you're kind of screwed. Now, where on earth? I really like the fact that you have some kind of item artifact. It's really cool. I also like this in World of Warcraft, where you were able to actually look into the looks of the items themselves that you can get from certain dungeons and so on. And then you can kind of, well, make up a certain grind path for yourself in order to get all of the items necessary for a certain look. That's actually quite neat. Really? No eggs, no lizards, no nothing. And I have still no idea what to do with the storm cage. I don't have the item, or at least I'm too stupid to find it. I don't know. Either I'm too stupid to find it, or it can only be found somewhere else. Storm cage, storm cage, storm cage. Where do I get the bloody storm cage? It's not a mineral. It's not one of the gadgets, so if I wanted to interact with it, where would that be? I have no idea. Absolutely no clue. Traveler, yada yada yada. No, it's just the same response we get every time. What about Sasaki? What is it? Who are you? I'm Sasaki, a subordinate of the Kanjo Commissioner. A reminder for you, if you have any impudent ideas concerning Miss Hiiragi, you'd best watch out for the blade in my hand. What about her? As a daughter that he had in his old age, the Commissioner dotes on Miss Hiiragi. He even requested that a chief samurai, such as myself, be her personal bodyguard. If I must be frank, that's truly a waste of my great talent. That being said, since it's an order from the Commissioner, I shall still do my utmost. I've heard that many young punks inside the Commission have also been harboring mischievous thoughts about Miss Hiiragi. No matter who it may be, I, Sasaki, shall not show any mercy if he oversteps his bounds. And with he, I believe it's just some person, like, being a bit of a dickhead. Whatever. Oh, wait a minute. There's a statue of the Seven Rain, so let's see if I have some electrocules in my inventory that I can use in order to improve my situation a little bit. Worship the statue. I mean, no, none of them. I need 2 more in order to get a key and some nice sigils and stuff like that. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Nice. Anyhow, there was also some kind of other quest somewhere nearby, but I'm not going to do it now. I'm going to start it in, guess what, the next episode. Haha. Apicus I don't even know what this is. But yeah, let's talk to her in the next episode and start this side mission with this character all the way over there. And by the way, I think I have to get rid of this. Which one? I don't know about this queue though. Wait a minute. Yada yada yada. Chisato. I have to check this area again just to make sure that there's no other side mission available. But yeah, the only way to actually know if there are still some side missions left is to check the commissions, or like the Yashiro commission stuff here, like this triangular icon. And if you interact with the person there on the billboard, or the quest board or whatever you will call it, then you know exactly how many more side missions there are, because like this one here has a certain name to it, and as long as you still haven't finished it or claimed the reward for it, you know that there's still an open quest somewhere in the wilderness and you have to find it. And then of course the wiki comes in for the help, because how else would you know that the quest would be here? Anyway, let's end the episode right now, talk to Katie in the next one, and start the side mission with Alvani in the next one as well. So, until the next time then, like and subscribe of course. Ta-ta!